And just like that, we have the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 12 reunion trailer. I know I promised that I was going to go live to talk about it, but I just couldn't wait. Let's talk about all of it and why exactly is a friend of the show, Kathy Hilton, the star of this trailer. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So yesterday, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 12 reunion trailer took forever to drop. It dropped while we were live, and it was quite late in the day. So there had been rumors that Kathy Hilton and her team have been sifting through past footage, present footage, and this reunion footage. Part of the reason why, allegedly, the ladies did not get an opportunity to see some of the episodes before this reunion. And according to reports, they were saying that Kathy Hilton was also sifting through this reunion footage. I already know a lot of people, a lot of Bravo fans are either Team Lisa and Erica or Team Kathy, more so Team Kathy than Team Erica or Lisa Rinna, understandably. But here's the thing. As I said to you before, do I believe that something happened in Aspen? Did she have a breakdown? Whatever she had, a tantrum, whatever it may be. Kathy may have said, and this is what is addressed in this reunion, some of the things that she allegedly said about all of the girls, especially Kyle, and saying that she is going to take Kyle down and her family. At the top of this reunion trailer, it's Kyle. We heard reports, according to Erica Jane during her Watch What Happens Live stint, she said that there wasn't even a group photo at the end because of how volatile this reunion was. So this trailer drops from People. They got the exclusive. And I have to say, I have to give the editors their kudos. Editors, kudos. Because I love the way that this started. They start with a time. At the end of the reunion, they start. And Kyle is falling apart. Kyle with those tears. Kyle, you get what you've been giving so many other people. Now it's at your own front door. So Kyle is breaking down. She's like, can I just go? Can I just go? I can't do a toast. And then Andy's calling to the producers, can we let Kyle go? She's falling apart. I'm just not understanding. Like, if I was falling apart like that, I'm not asking Andy Cohen. I'm not asking producers permission to leave. I'm leaving. I can't do this. I'm done. But you also may recall we did a separate video talking about allegedly Kyle takes all the blame at this reunion to save her family. During our recap of the season finale, you saw that's exactly where Kyle was leaning in. She was done being a part of the Fox Force flunkies, and she was like, I need to save my family. Farrah's wedding is coming up. And we have to keep in mind, Kyle has a lot of kids. Kathy has her kids. Kim has her kids. And I think if Kyle is separate or has is separated from Kathy Hilton, that will also affect the relationships with her sister, Kim. So I don't think a lot of people are thinking about that element as well. If there is any sort of separation, I think it's going to cause a separation and a volatile relationship with Kim as well. So Kyle is trying to save her family. Do I think that Kathy Hilton is manipulating things behind the scenes? Yes. But I also believe that Lisa Rinna, very much like what Kyle said, is a dog with a bone and is refusing to let this go, not realizing the levels that she's going to for a storyline to have whatever she wants on the show at the detriment of Kyle, her sanity, and her family. That's beyond just Kyle and Kathy. It's the children I think Kyle is thinking about the most. So at the top of this reunion, we get Kyle falling apart, and then they rewind a little bit more. And then we have Kathy Hilton addressing Lisa Rinna. So it literally rewinds 23 minutes, rewinds an hour earlier, and rewinds 2 hours earlier, and then they rewind all the way to the beginning of this reunion. But in between those rewinds, we're seeing little moments that are happening throughout the reunion. One moment, Garcelle is stepping in and like she was doing in this last episode, defending Kyle and Kathy's relationship. Because she gets, in reality, you can sit here and play these reindeer games for reality TV, but at the end of the day, when this show is over, these folks are still blood. They're still family. So they rewind all the way to the top. So let's start at the top, and let me just talk a little bit about this reunion fashion. I have to say, I have a different feeling towards the fashion. Seeing it on this set, very much like with the Real Housewives of Atlanta, it didn't look good in the photos. I mean, it's still not fantastic fashion from all of them. But looking at this photo of the ladies, looking at Garcelle in the side profile, she looks sexy. I'm sorry. And some of you were tweeting like, it's a sitting outfit. Okay, all right. But I have to say, the people sitting closest to Andy are the ones that usually have the most volatile, season. I mean, this season, Kyle may have earned it with everything that's been going on. And I don't know about Lisa Rinna being there, but I think towards the end of the season, Lisa Rinna is stirring the pot because she's so shook. Whatever. But it's so interesting to me to see Crystal at the end with Lisa Rinna, Erica Jane, and Dorito. I would have put her with Sutton, but maybe that would have been too obvious. Who knows why they were doing that? Could be lighting purposes. But no, I just thought of it. Kathy Hilton's going to come out and sit next to her sister. And the body language is interesting between Kyle and Kathy. Kathy comes out eventually. After they go through a few different things. Let me stay in order. I did take notes for this. So let's stay in order. So they will, here are some of the things that they will address in this reunion. They will address the Mauricio and Dorito. Oh my goodness, that name goes so well together. Rumors. And at one point, Kyle says, they think that we also swap. At this point, I really don't even care. I really feel like they do have a close relationship, both couples. I don't think it's as sordid as people want to make it out to be. And I really, like I said, don't care. So they're going to address that. They're going to be talking about Sutton's dating, of course. There are going to be some light moments. I wonder if it's going to be, I didn't pay attention at the top of this, if they said it was a 3-part or 4-part reunion. I don't think we need 4. I don't think we need 4. 3, maybe. I could see covering a lot. So they're going to be talking about, first of all, PK met Erica years before he was with Dorito and thought she was a porn star. Okay. All right. Sutton's going to be talking about her dating. Erica's going to be talking about her regulars. I'm not interested in any of those moments, but they're going to cover it because this is a new chapter in Erica's life. All right. Andy then talks about Lisa Rinna's social media behavior. And I know Andy's only saying this because so many of you have called him out on social media for calling Candace from the Real Housewives of Potomac a mess on Twitter. And all of you have said it. Lisa Rinna is a bigger mess on social media than Candace. All right. So that is going to happen. And at one point, after he says that, he's like, well, put me on pause. Like Dorinda. There have been a lot of rumors that Lisa Rinna is not going to come back. I just don't see. Only reason why Lisa Rinna wouldn't come back, to be honest with you, at this point, would be because she doesn't want to come back. Maybe because she's not getting the money that she wants. That's the only reason. Because it's not like this show is suffering when it comes to ratings. They could keep this same cast. No matter how many people say, get rid of this cast, this is boring. Everyone is still showing up and watching. The ratings from last night, from the previous night's episode, was 1.2 million people watch on the first night, and that's going to add more viewers later. So they're not going to shake up this cast that much. We do get one glimpse, a half a second, of Diana New Money Jenkins. And I believe that second that we get her is when Garcelle says she does believe that it was Diana who was behind the trolls that attacked her son, Jax. But remember, this is edited and pieced together. We are assuming that that's what's happening in these moments. All right? So they're going to talk about that. They're also going to talk about Erica and those $1 million earrings and the fact that she's appealing them. Okay? So she's appealing to that. And she says it's for legal reasons. That's one person on this cast that I could see go, to be honest with you, because she offers really nothing else. At least Oh my goodness. I was trying to go to find a reason to keep some of these other ladies, but some of these other ladies could go too. Anyways, like Kyle. All right. But Kyle has secured her spot, and so has Kathy Hilton. So Kathy Hilton finally comes out. Look, I already told you during my last recap of the last season, the fact that they even use Kathy's backyard as their background for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion said to me that they were all the way up Kathy's you know what in order for her to be on the show. All of that being said, Kathy comes out and confronts Rinna. All right. And she is also confronted for the things that she supposedly said about the group. But you remember when we heard about the things that she said about the group, we were like, where's the lie? Just saying. So Lisa then says to Kathy, she said, I was abused by Kathy Hilton. Lisa Rinna, I understand that you're an actress and you like to be very dramatic, but even during this week's episode where you're talking about, I don't want to get cancer and die, there are people that are living and dying with cancer that are really offended by you even trying to make that sort of metaphor. Thankfully, you don't have that, but saying something like that, you could just say, like, I don't want to get sick from building this up or keeping this in. But like I said before during my recap, girl, get some therapy. Don't make it for everyone else. Because I understand that Kathy Hilton may have said or done something that was out of character for her. But the fact that you are refusing to take that apology and move on, especially for something that no one witnessed besides yourself, because you're so shook by this, you did not want to move on. And I feel like you played your card wrong here. You thought that, oh, I'm going to have a moment. This is going to be a major moment. I'm going to take another Richard sister down. And now it's blowing up in your face. And you might actually be put on pause. But if she's put on pause, let me tell you something, Rinna. People will forget about you. Look at the top of the season. Look at the top of the season where Rinna wasn't there. And people were like, oh, I didn't care. Just saying. But Kathy Hilton comes out, and as a friend of, I was really like, whoa. Kathy Hilton she was going for it. Kathy Hilton says that Lisa Rinna wanted this breakdown on camera. She says that because the reason why she wanted this breakdown on camera, the reason why Lisa Rinna is acting the way that she's acting when it comes to this story is because her contract was coming up. Maybe. I mean, I don't see any lies told. Remember how she was acting when she wasn't on those early episodes. She's like, I wish they would show my grieving process. She saw the writing on the wall. She's like, oh, I'm not getting any play this season. So Lisa Rinna was I think this was also the motivation behind Lisa Rinna this season, finding something and then running with that something. And I feel like the Fox Force Flunkies has turned into something else. And now that team that used to be 4 or 5 people is now 2 people. And that's Lisa Rinna and Erica Jane. But they may have played their cards wrong because they're not likable enough for that to maintain on the show and for that to work. Especially when Kyle has decided to leave the group. So Kathy also says to Rinna, you are the biggest bully of Hollywood and everyone knows it. Here's the thing. Let me break another fourth wall for you guys. You would be shocked at how people are in real life, behind the scenes. You know, we report and talk about, some of these housewives, some of the fans have said in the past, oh, they met this particular housewife, she was terrible. Or like Teresa, I said, everyone that's ever met Teresa, personal friends of mine, fans, they have said Teresa is so freaking nice. And they've said some nasty things about some other housewives that I won't mention. I've mentioned them before, though. I'm just not going to mention it here. But there's also the circles in Hollywood that fans and, only people that are in media or in gossip hear the stories. They hear the stories of how people are behind the scenes. Those makeup artists, those publicists, they all talk, and they talk to the right people. And and some of these people are sitting on this information for the right time to release it. Or they'll just say it casually to other people. So Lisa Rinna being the biggest bully of Hollywood, But then it reminds me of all the stories. And then recently you may have seen her old tweets where she was bullying Dionne Warwick or bullying Star Jones. At one point, Star Jones was going to take legal action against Lisa Rinna and the amount of bullying that she was doing to her during Celebrity Apprentice. We've talked all about it. So I'm not surprised that Kathy Hilton has come out with her receipts. She was prepared for this reunion. Her and her team, whoever that might be, were prepared. We're seeing a different side of Kathy Hilton at this reunion. She is activated. She's not coming in here being light and fun like last season. So it makes me wonder, what energy are we going to get next season? Who will be coming back? Who do you want to come back? How did you feel about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 12 trailer? Are you excited for it? Let's have that conversation below. I want to know all of your thoughts and how you would rate this trailer. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.